What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. I'm back in the building, about to start this cold work day. It's cold out here in Ohio, man. It's cold out here. Woo! Bitter cold. Gotta do what we gotta do. But hey, jumping in here right quick. Uh, Shout out to everybody. I had my dog boss hit me up. He was like, "Hey, man, you good? I know you good, but people asking me like, you're all right. I'm good. You know, I'm emotional after that. After we lose a game like that, I'm emotional. I'm pissed. I'm mad. I'm gonna say crazy things. I'm gonna say crazy things. I'm gonna just keep it real. And I said a lot of crazy things Sunday, but I'm back in my normal state of mind now because I was just in an anger. I was pissed off, angry. I'm still mad. I'm definitely still mad. I'm definitely still pissed off, but I'm more logical now. So thank you for everybody who had some concerns. But this video, we're going to be doing the final word. I believe Footsie King is going to be on there today, but we're still rocking the Senior Bowl. Shout out to everybody who's donated. We'll be out to the Senior Bowl on the 29th. I already talked to Joe. He was like, "You good? You good? You still going?" Yeah, I'm going. I'm going. Ain't nobody tripping off that. Like I said, I was just mad. I love scouting anyway, so that's the thing. So, if you want to donate, make sure you go check out my GoFundMe. We're already at 325. The goal was 750. We're already at 325. Go to my community page on my Big Game James page if you'd like to donate. Yes, we will be out there for the week with Joe Castro. Dominique White will be out there too. Um, I put my GoFundMe on my Twitter at James Yates, Big Game James, or you can go to my community page on my YouTube account and you'll see my GoFundMe. And if you'd like to donate, we're only like 300 something away from it. That'd be awesome to do because we're going to the NFL Combine as well in March. So just get that out there. As far as these Cowboys, I don't know. I hear so many things in the media. I just seen some on Twitter where I seen Chad Ocho Johnson talking like Jerry's the problem. I don't know why we don't even talk about that no more. He ain't going nowhere. The Joneses ain't going nowhere. So I'm not talking about that conversation anymore, ever. Because he ain't never leaving until he dies. Stephen Jones ain't going nowhere. The Joneses are going to own the Cowboys for life. So I don't want to listen to Chad Johnson or Ocho say Jerry Jones the problem, which is probably true. It's definitely true. Let's keep it real. I don't hate Jerry. It's them Joneses. It's probably true. That's one of the. It always starts from the top. And Dallas is a money-making team. And as long as they're making money, it don't matter. So even though they lost, Dallas fans still be out there selling tickets. They still gonna sell out games. They still gonna have a following like no other. So as much as it might be devastating, Dallas ain't falling off the planet Earth. They'll still be number one in sales. They'll still be the top winningest top money, not winningest, top money grossing organization out there. So that ain't never gonna change. So there's always gonna be that fundamental problem from up top. And maybe that's why this always happens. I don't know. I can't put a finger on it, but I know that has something to do with it. Um, and then it trickles down to the coaches. Man, that's why we don't have the toughness, probably. That's why we're not a physical team. That's why we're never tough. We haven't been that way since Jimmy Johnson. And that's when Jerry had just took over. And in the 90s, you could do that. Jimmy Johnson, that was an era where you could get that off with Jimmy, and he was motivated by fear, and he wasn't playing those games. But it's a different era now. I don't think you can do that. But at that time, it was great for the team. You feel me? And that's where Dallas was tough and physical, and they had the attitude. It was a whole different thing. That's not going down now because you haven't had a coach like that. And Bill Parcells, kinda, but Jerry still meddled and got T.O. when he told him not to do it, and he still went and did it. So there was that. I like Mike McCarthy. I don't hate Mike McCarthy. But I'm gonna just keep it real. You won a Super Bowl somewhere else. Like, I don't know if it's the Cowboys. I don't know. But I know we ain't no tough team. We ain't not a physical team. We not a tough team. We not a physical team. And that probably has to do with the organization. It's cool. It's cool to be a Cowboy. You feel me? It's just. I don't say we don't have tough players, but we don't have a tough mentality. We don't have a tough-minded mentality. That's what it just really is. We're not a tough team. I hear a lot of talking about we tough, but Dallas ain't no tough team, and that's what it boils down to. Because you got talent across the board that can bang with anybody. Your coaching isn't terrible. Y'all got money. You spend it. You got the players. Like, you have all those things, but you're not mentally tough and you're not physically tough. You're like a Hollywood team. That's why we always choking, because we're Hollywood. Dallas is a Hollywood team and a Hollywood organization, and as long as we always stay that way, or as long as Dallas always stays that way, it's always gonna fall short. Like I said, they're always gonna win games. I said this before. Dallas is always gonna win games. They're always gonna have talent. They're always gonna win games. Ain't getting over the top. And that has to be the top. And it trickles down to your coaches and everything. But Dallas is just not a mentally tough team. They're not a physically tough team. And I'm gonna keep it real, and just the leaders in the locker room. I don't believe y'all. I don't believe your leaders in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe y'all anymore. I try to believe something different this year. I'm never drinking the Kool-Aid again with this team. I'm never trusting this team again. Never. I will never trust this team again. I don't care what anybody says. And you will never catch me saying I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Ever again. Ever. And if I do, please check me. I'm never saying I'm drinking the Kool-Aid again for this team. Never. I will never, ever, ever, ever trust this team as long as I live. Never. I don't care what coach they bring in. I don't care what players they bring in. I will never trust them. They have to prove it. And I'm allowed to be skeptical as hell. I'm going to be skeptical. I can be pessimistic. I can be all that for these Cowboys. And I don't want to hear no fans or nobody else talking trash about fans because they're skeptical. And, you ain't pumping out your chest because you don't believe. No, I'm never believing. I mean, as far as trusting, I might have a belief because I love my team. But I have no trust in this organization. I have no trust in this team. I have no trust in these players. So that's it. I'm going to just love the team because I've been a fan for over 40 years and I'm not going nowhere else. It's a marriage that I'm just in it for life. But I don't like the marriage. But it's almost like you've been in a marriage for so long with somebody, and it's almost like, why divorce now? We've been together 40 years. What are we going to do when I divorce? So it's almost like we're just staying together. We living in different rooms. We kiss every now and then. We have the natural love because we've been together so long, but the thrill is gone. That's what it feels like. But let me get these last few minutes off of here because I'm just really speaking from my heart. I can't really talk about no breakdowns, but talk about Jerry. I just feel like Dallas is not a mentally tough team and they're not physically tough. Any team over time, a team really wants to get physical with Dallas, they do, and they win. It's been happening time and time again. So I'm not going to believe the Cowboys when I hear DeMarcus Lawrence talking about Aaron Jones. Well, he got to deal with D-Law, and he got to deal with this defense, and this defense is different than the last couple years. This is a different defense. No, it's not. And even though Dan Quinn was on the weirdo stuff playing zone most of the game when you were mostly a man team, you were a mostly aggressive team, you blitzed, you pressured, you all that. None of that happened, but all the time, stars are talking. DeMarcus Lawrence talks so much in the media, just like when they beat the Eagles. We smacked them and we smacked them and we smacked them like they was the toughest team in the world. I don't want to hear that talk from no DeMarcus Lawrence telling they smacked them and they smacked that and we made them quit and we did. No, you didn't, because then Dallas comes right back and Buffalo runs right all over y'all and smacks y'all. But I don't hear that noise then. When Buffalo ran all over y'all, I didn't hear him in the media talking, but this, no. And then when it was Aaron Jones coming in the building, he got to deal with D-Law and he got to deal with this defense. Well, he did. 21 carries, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's laughing at the field, waving bye to us, clowning Dallas like he always does, averaging 123 yards, the highest rushing average attempt in 3-game minimum against the Cowboys in history. And he just laughs and clowns us. But D-Law's out there jumping and screaming that Dallas is different defense and they're going to stop this and stop that. No, you didn't. So I don't listen to D-Law. I give him props because he's a great run defender, but he talks too much, and you don't back up none of your talk when it matters the most. Michael Parsons, I love Michael Parsons, but you had like what, one whole pressure. You said this. You supposed to be pissed off. You was supposed to be an All-Pro, and you wasn't an All-Pro. We thought you was gonna come in there angrily. It can't just be the scheme of Dan Quinn. You gotta play a crazy game. You said either gonna be phenomenal or you're gonna suck. You sucked. We expect our stars and leaders to be the stars of the game, and y'all never are. When the lights are the brightest, y'all choke. You stars choke. Y'all don't have that killer instinct genes in y'all. That's just what it is. You have supremely talented players in the building, but you don't have supremely talented mental people. You're not mentally tough. This team, not mentally tough. You just got a lot of talent. You have a lot of great talent, but it's not mentally tough when it matters the most. Your leaders are not mentally tough when it matters the most. Michael Parsons, he's supposed to be a leader. Nothing. DeMarcus Lawrence, supposed to be a leader. Nothing. CeeDee Lamb, supposed to be the leader. Nothing until the end. When you needed it the most, you was dropping passes. You get what I'm saying? DeMarcus Lawrence, you needed you the most stopping the run game. You didn't do it. Michael Parsons needed you the most. You had one whole pressure. Dak Prescott needed you the most. You had great numbers when it didn't matter. The thought of garbage time comes in again with your name. Well, and it's almost like when you have those numbers, when you don't have the pressure, when it's the biggest pressure of the game that you guys need to do, Dak be choking. I'm sorry, he's a great regular season quarterback, but Cam Newton was right about you, bro. You're a game manager. There's nothing wrong with it, but you're not a difference maker. When Cam Newton named all of them quarterbacks, Cowboys Nation always wants to get mad when a critic from ESPN or these networks or Cam Newton or they all dog Dallas or they dog or say this, and every Cowboy person contact you want to get mad and argue with them. I don't care. They all argue with them to try to stick out their chest and prove it. But then when Dallas chokes, then he looks like egg on your face. You look like you got egg on your face because you're out there trying to defend this mentally weak team, this not mentally tough team, out there defending them to these networks and these people, and they see it, and then when that happens, you look dumb. You look like you got egg on your face, and that's just what happens. And Cam Newton was right, and he has every right to say that because he was a difference maker. Even though Cam Newton wasn't the best, like, completion percentage, Cam Newton was a difference maker on the Carolina Panthers. That's why they went places, because of Cam Newton. Let's keep it real. Yeah, they had a dope defense, but it was Cam Newton. And Dak Prescott is not a difference maker like that. He's a really, really good quarterback, but he's not a difference maker because a difference maker takes it to the next level when you need it the most. And whenever it's needed the most, the biggest time, that comes up short, and then there's always the excuse. Well, the defense didn't play good. Well, the defense gave up this. If the defense didn't do this, then Dak. Or if the receivers didn't do this, man, C.J. Stroud is over there with them Houston Texans, and they went from worst to first. As far as winning divisions, winning playoff games, blowing out people, and who was doing it? C.J. Stroud, 16 to 21, 200-some yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He is a difference maker. He is elite. He's the reason why they are winning, not the reason why they are losing. He's a difference maker. He's not a game manager. And I hate to say this about them Texans because that dude Harold gonna run his mouth, but it's the truth, dog. He's a difference maker. And that's why they won. Dak's not a difference maker when it matters the most. He can win games, yes. But when Dallas really, really needs to win like we needed in Green Bay, it's always him falling short. He gets nervous. People were saying in the building, Jay Slater said some people in the building frustrated that once Dak gets off his first read, he starts getting nervous. And you can see it. You can see in these really, really big games, you can see his nervousness. You can see it. You can feel it. And it's almost like that gene is there, like, you're really good. But when that super pressure, and I said it this year with Jesse Holly, I said Dak this year is going to have to, if the Dallas is going to go anywhere, it's going to have to be Dak Prescott. And he had to be a difference maker, and he was not. When it mattered the most, he was not a difference maker. Am I hating on Dak Prescott? No. But extensions after beyond 2024? No, I think you have to have a conversation now. You have to look beyond that because it's year 8, year 9. How do we think he's going to do it? You get a now we're talking about getting another coach. Another coach is going to do it with Dak Prescott. I don't believe that now. We've had almost 10 years, bro. And I've seen other quarterbacks do it too and go through it. But I'm sorry. I also seen other quarterbacks take steps, and this was the step. This was the elite level that we were all waiting for you to get to, and yet you still did the same thing. When the pressure's on, you revert back to the old Dak Prescott, in my opinion. And that's just it. And Mike McCarthy, I like you a lot, but it doesn't matter. Jerry Jones, Mike McCarthy, whoever you get, if you get Bill Belichick, hell no, I don't want that old 71-year-old dude. People think that he's gonna come in and install this discipline and scare these players. No, it's not. It's not gonna happen. It's gonna be more failure. If anything, it might regress because of that. It might be a contradiction. I'm trying to tell you, Bill Belichick ain't gonna come in here and help Dallas. He ain't gonna do nothing for Dak. He ain't gonna do nothing for this team. And I don't want no old dinosaurs. D'Amico Ryans, he did really good. But why? He had a difference-making quarterback, and I guarantee you he wasn't motivating the players by fear. So I don't want to hear this. You got to motivate the players by fear, and that's why they're going to listen. No, I guarantee you, D'Amico Ryans probably wasn't motivated by fear. He just got difference-maker at a quarterback because C.J. Stroud had Dalton Schultz, Noah Brown, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, and went crazy. 4,000 yards. They win the playoffs and won. That's all I got to say. Dan James, I'm out. Peace.